Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Sports fans out there, welcome to the Culdesac on the Hottest Live Radio. I'm your host, Jay Irvin. Got my co-host here, Greg, as in Greg Nice. How you feeling today, sir?
Oh, it's a nice, hot day, but I'm glad to be here.
Sheesh. Yeah, we're going to definitely get into some sports today. There's a lot of sports going on. We're getting to the football season. We're in preseason now. We got a lot of stuff going on with the Olympics. How are you feeling about the sports right now, Greg?
Oh, I'm loving it. Sports on TV all day, all night. I can't get enough of it.
True indeed. Yeah, definitely. So, tune in, turn everything off. We're going to treat it, like we on ESPN. Hottest Live Radio, the Culdesac.
You're listening to the Hottest Live Radio, representing Dover, Delaware, Tri-State, Delmarva, and the Eastern Shore.
Yeah, so we're looking at these sports here. Was you able to catch some of the preseason games?
I caught a little bit. Been a little busy week, but caught some in, trying to see the rookies play, trying to see what they're going to bring into the table. It's very interesting.
Any certain games?
No, I was going to ask you, did you catch your Eagles game?
Oh, yeah. I caught my birds, my angry birds, I felt a little good about them. A little Wentz, he still got some learning to do.
Yeah.
He came in through the 2-minute quarter. After the 2-minute quarter, they gave him the whole third quarter. He seemed he was a little rusty, a little nervous and stuff like that. I just noticed a report came that it kind of messed up his ribs a little bit for running and sliding, also get hit, got banged up, but it was good. Our defense looks good.
Yeah, your defense did look pretty good. Yeah. Your quarterback's young. He'll get hit. He'll be all right. Right. Brush it off. That's what it is to be a rookie. Get hit and, get used to that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I seen that defense is what we needed. We needed that secondary to look good, and I was impressed with that. Coming
out of your division, defense is a must because your division can score.
Correct.
So you want to make sure y'all can hold players down. So
definitely. Let's see what happened with the Steelers.
We played all right. Quick in and out with some players, have some good wide receiving. Sammy, our new wide receiver, can't hold on to a ball right now, but we have plenty of training camp to come through and have him catch a ball and stuff.
Definitely. We still got 3 weeks to figure things out. This is their first game out the gate to actually really hit and so forth. So, really impressed about to see. How do you feel about the Olympics?
I'm loving the Olympics. I'm loving the Olympics. The best part about the Olympics is that everything's on TV. I mean, even things you normally able to see. Definitely. I mean, who really watch ping pong on a regular basis? But hey, you get to watch it, Thursday afternoon anytime you want to.
Yes, yeah. But I'm shocked. I'm tuned in a little bit more than what I used to do. I never watched the Olympics like that.
I mean, what about your boy Michael Phelps? I mean, man, holding it down for us in the swimming pool.
Yeah, he got what, 21 golds now?
I think he's at 24 now. I think.
24?
Yeah.
He has.
Last event tonight for 25, but he pretty much holds the most records for gold medals in the Olympics for U.S.
Yeah. I saw him on ESPN crying. I mean, it makes sense, he had 25. Yeah.
They're saying that Maryland was a country itself that had just as many gold medals as the United States does.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, the Olympics is so much energy. I see the U.S. breaking a lot of records right now.
I mean, it's hype. You get to, show off for your country. Yeah, there's a pride a lot into playing in the Olympics. There's a lot of pride playing for your country. So you see a lot of countries that are small, that are feisty because, they're wearing their colors on their chest.
Definitely. Now, let me ask you this. Do you feel who's the most strongest athlete in everything? Like, that you would say is the most toughest athlete? Football, the Olympics, basketball, and so forth.
I put football pretty high on there because no matter how you move the ball, you have to move it with your body. So it's contact nonstop.
Right.
But I put the Olympics pretty high on there too because that's 4 years of training for maybe 9 seconds worth of action. Look at Usain Bolt. Yes. He trains for 4 years and he runs 10 meters in 9.2 seconds. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You had Michael Phelps last night run, what did he swim? 2 meets back to back within 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, he barely can get out of the pool. So yeah, you put a lot into that. So
yeah. I mean, when you have the gymnastics that go from flipping around poles and then got to turn around and do 3 other things at the same time, that's a lot. Yeah. I would say they did get that. Yeah.
I give my props out to the triathlon people. I mean, running, jumping, throwing, all your stuff you got to do. I mean, most of the time when you play a sport, you're really good at one or the other thing. You're really fast, you're really strong, or one or the other thing. But to have to do that all consecutively, that's a challenge itself.
Definitely. And so would you say that Olympics is the most athletic, but going to say that NFL and the NBA is the most franchised?
I say NFL and NBA and all that is most entertaining.
Gotcha.
Because there's a lot of moving parts in the piece of it to make it, the show that it is.
Correct.
But yeah, definitely, I'll say the Olympics are most athletic because you have to be the best of the best against the whole entire world.
True.
You can't be just Adrian Peterson running down the field. You have to be the fastest person, Adrian Peterson, and any other country.
Definitely. Yeah, you don't got that time to really compete and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because once it starts, you're on. You don't know really what you're going to get until you're in the middle of it.
Well, it's also hard as an athlete, as an Olympian, because a lot of those players don't get paid to be an Olympian. You're doing it on your spare time. A lot of people are mailmen. They're working at the post office. They're working at Applebee's or whatever it is, and they're training on their own time.
It's true. Yeah.
Not, you're looking at NBA players. They actually get to train to become, the Olympics. But all the sprinters and all the other stuff, they always have their own job, and they got to cut away.
Like you said, I mean, they're also working on one thing: basketball, football, so forth. The Olympics, you're working on multiple things at one time. You know? So yeah, so that's true. Yeah. Well, sports fans out there, we're going to get into these scores. We're going to go over scores.
Yeah, we can go over scores. Let's go ahead and knock it out.
Okay, yeah. So, let's look at the. You want to start first with the NFL?
Yeah, go ahead. Go right over preseason. We'll start off preseason.
Okay. So, in the preseason, we're looking at we got a couple games that's going on tonight. That's not been notated yet.
So tonight we have definitely the Colts and the Bills playing, and then we got the Cowboys and the Rams on prime time. What do you think about the Rams going out to LA?
Actually, I like the Rams going out to LA. It's more like a Hollywood situation. So maybe that might boost their, people get in the NFL to play for money, right? Most of the people. You got some of them that come on with a budget, but I think when that price is there and they're trying to compete to make more, they will play harder. The defense has already been there. They just haven't been able to find that right quarterback.
I think the market now allows players to come play.
Yes.
Because LA, you can build a brand out in LA.
Correct. Yeah, definitely.
So, right now, they maybe this first couple years or two, they might not be too competitive, but people will start realize that I can go out to LA and build a brand on top of a great franchise, and you'll attract some really stars. Right.
Yeah, and I see that. I see that everybody's going to now say, hey, the Rams is a team that I'm looking to go to. The first thing they do is they look at it like, us Eagles, we get the possibility if somebody want to come, So when you look at that, if the NFC, they're like, it's got to be a competitive thing. But, will somebody go if the Patriots was available? Yeah, they'd go to the Patriots definitely because they know they have a better opportunity as winning, going to the Super Bowl and so forth. These franchise teams that look the value is better on, the opportunity of going to.
What do you think about this Colts and Bills game? You got Andrew Luck, who just got paid out that crazy contract, but Tyrod Taylor just signed a new contract the other day to get paid for 6 years.
Yeah. It was $100 million for 6 years.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, we know that's all not guaranteed. This ain't baseball.
Yeah, right.
Andrew Luck, I honestly don't know because Andrew Luck is that second half guy. He comes back to try to win the game. If they're not up by the first half. So I'm not feeling that. I actually like the Bills situation better.
I think Tyrod Taylor has a better opportunity because Andrew Luck's ceiling was already created so large, allowed him to be this next great Peyton Manning coming into it, where Tyrod Taylor didn't have any aspect of him.
Definitely
so
true.
Him just improving his stats by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, whatever it is this going to look out for him?
Right. So are you looking at any certain stars right here on the Bills? That can complete Tyrod Taylor?
I'm hoping Shady comes back, Shady McCoy. I'm hoping he actually has a good season running.
Correct.
Leaving Philadelphia, kind of have a sketchy situation, getting hurt. I've always really liked him. I'm from Pittsburgh, so watching him at Pitt, I like his elusiveness. So I kind of like the fact that in Buffalo, he's more of a downhill runner than he is kind of scattered in the background.
Definitely. In which, I mean, we still miss him. I don't know why, but during the offseason, we was trying to recruit him. Like, he was really going to leave the Bills, come back to Philly after Chip Kelly then kicked us out, so.
Hey, you got to clean up your mess somehow, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Recruiting is always the best thing, right?
Right. What do you think about these Cowboys, though? I know you don't like them, but I mean, they look a little good this year.
I mean, one thing that you cannot deny about the Cowboys is they do have that line. But if Romo is not that guy, if he's not on point, they will be in trouble every single year. I thought they was going to take and pick up a nice backup. They were having all these talks. Even you had a situation even where Michael Vick sent a message to him. They sent the message back. You thinking he's going to go. Then they might have a mind changer just to be on the field. But they would just want to go with their backup. How do you feel?
I think the Cowboys are always self-destructive. So, I mean, I think they're talented. I think they got pieces, but they so self-destructive. They hurt their own season. But, I mean, in the division there's always an opportunity for them to take it.
Definitely. How do you feel about the Broncos? The Broncos and the Bears, they played each other.
After Peyton leaving and some of the other aspects of people leaving, I don't know. I don't think the Broncos are too exciting to look forward to. I mean... I don't like their quarterback situation, so I don't know how they're going to get the ball to anywhere. I didn't like their last year wide receiver. I mean, Demaryius Thomas was second most drop passes in the league, and you had a good quarterback. Even though he had an off year, you still had a good quarterback putting the ball. And you dropping the ball. I just don't see them being as explosive. Now you're going to just have to think about your defense all the time and hope your defense can hold you down because your offense may not be as explosive anymore.
So you're looking at it, this might be a situation where those iffy games, where if the defense is not pulling through, they might not even get close to winning the game.
I don't put them in any big games anymore.
That's true.
I mean, they might knit and grit some small games, but I mean, when they playing the Patriots or anybody big this year, I'm already putting them as an underdog.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, you got Mark Sanchez that got the starting job, and he didn't do that much in Philly. And it's kind of ironic that these guys are coming right back to this Philly situation. But Mr. Who was in New York, Mr. Butt Fumble.
Yeah. Hey. I mean, he's a little pretty boy. That's pretty much all he's always been.
I mean, he's a great community guy. I salute him for that. I see him online all the time doing stuff with the kids. But if you're just getting a check, I understand. But sometimes you got to come out and really play when you put on these platforms.
I like to get that check too. Just kind of throw interceptions. I mean,
I know
I can do that. I know, pretty sure I can do that.
Indeed, yeah. What do you think about New York
Jets?
Yes.
Another interesting team. Picked up some good players. I like Fitzpatrick because he reminds me a little bit of Brett Favre.
Correct.
Has a really good arm. Never really sure what he's going to do.
Right.
He can throw 4 interceptions, but he can throw for 4 touchdowns.
Gotcha.
Brandon Marshall's their key. Brandon Marshall will make or break for them, and they also picked up Matt Forte. So Matt Forte gives them a little bit more stability in the back, but we already know they're going to throw the ball.
Right.
So Brandon Marshall's catching the ball like he was last year. I think they'll be able to fight for the division. I don't know if they can win it. It's still a rough division, but they can fight for it.
Gotcha. Okay, well, there y'all have it. We gave y'all a couple little topics that we feel that might be little standouts. We have a little bit more. We're going to take a quick little break. We thank you for tuning in, listening in right now to the Culdesac on the Hottest Live Radio. Thank you very much.
You're listening to the Hottest Live Radio, representing Dover, Delaware, Tri-State, Delmarva, and the Eastern Shore.
Welcome, sports fans. This is your guy, Jay Irvin. We got Mr. Greg Nice in the building.
Yes, sir.
You're on the Culdesac. We're going to get into a couple debates here of what basically we feel. Greg, let me ask you something. Should we measure greatness by championships?
That's a really deep question. I like that question, though. No, I don't agree with measuring greatness by champions, because if that's the case, Robert Horry would be one of the greatest basketball players out there with his 7 rings.
Right, yeah. The one that's less talked about. Yeah, definitely, right.
Yeah. No, I think greatness is impact. What kind of impact do you bring to the sport that you come into? If you change things, I mean, look at Allen Iverson. He's a great player because he changed the way we cross over people.
Yes,
I mean, you look at Bill Walton. He changed the way the post game's in. So I really think the greatness is based on the impact you have on whatever sport you're playing. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, greatness into the public eye is not measured by, to them, is not measured by how much work they put in. I see people measuring greatness by popularity. Like, it's always like back in school, that preppy, that cool guy is the one that gets it. He can be the last one that wins the race, the last one to win the game.
So how do you feel about like LeBron? They want to put him in the top 5 of some of the greatest players ever play in the NBA. Now, are you measuring him by his impact, or are you measuring by his achievements?
I don't think that we should measure LeBron compared to the past. I think LeBron sits in his own era. There's different eras for ball players. You know, I think the Jordan era is back there with everybody else that belongs in that era. LeBron is in the new era. You know, he can be one of the greats of now, you know, because we have a lot of players now that don't get the respect, you know. We look at somebody like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan don't get no respect, and look at this guy's record.
Legit.
You know?
You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
But if you had to, they had to force you to put. They want to know if you would put LeBron James in your top 5. Are you willing to put LeBron James in your top 5?
Yes, I'm willing to put him in my top 5. No matter what people say, because of his age. You know, even though the amount of times that he went to the championship and he did not come home with the ring, he still went. So that you gotta get some credit for at least going, because he picks his. It's like a Mayweather situation.
See, I don't even put him in my top 10.
Really?
I don't even put him in my top 10.
Oh man. Yeah.
I mean, he's a good ball player. He's put himself around good ball players. But I think that's the key for LeBron as a whole, is that wherever he goes, he brings a posse of players to play with him.
Now, is that top 5? Not your top 5, not your top 10 of all time, or now?
Of all time. Now, but currently I would say right now he's number 1.
Understandable.
Because I still feel like Durant and some other players could be better than him, but they don't show the skill set. You know, Durant can shoot the gym out. He can handle. He can rebound. He can dunk. He can do a lot of things.
Right.
But he does it some nights. He doesn't do it the other nights. Right. Until he can do that on a consistent basis, I can't put him up there with there. You know, same thing with Steph Curry. He can play D. He can shoot.
Right.
But he's missing some other attributes that can put him as being the greatest player currently.
Definitely. I mean, we would say that we're in an era now where people do build teams around these quote-unquote great players.
I think it's kind of crazy. Like, why nowadays do I got to have 5 All-Stars on the team to even make the opportunity to go to the championship? Like, what happened to that one player that made us a significance enough to make the team uprise and be great? I mean, Jordan had some people around him that were great in the future, but when he first started winning championships, it didn't happen. You look at Kobe. I think Kobe gets underrated a lot too, but his 2008 Lakers.
Definitely.
They were scrubs.
Yeah.
He had a scrub supporting cast. I mean, Paul Gasol. I mean, we're nobody that is going to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And he still busted out a great season.
Now tell me if I'm wrong. I put Dwayne Wade higher than LeBron.
Yes.
The reason why is Wade, before going to Chicago, we understand the reason why he had to go to Chicago. But when he started, it was just him. Yes, Shaq came, but he was still holding the team with and without Shaq.
Now, granted this, I do say no matter what, how great of a player, you need to have a duo. You need to have somebody to help you be whatever it is. I mean, Michael had Pippen, Gary Payton had Ray Allen. Everybody has somebody to pick off. But Wade has an impact on the team no matter what. If he doesn't even have somebody else, he has an impact. Right. I don't feel like LeBron has that impact. I think if you take LeBron now and tell him he can't get any other players and go over to the Sixers are still a 17-50 winning game season. Like, it doesn't change anything.
How do you feel about Melo?
I like Melo.
Okay.
But I still think he's soft. I think he's given up on trying to be a dominant player, and he wants to shoot the ball, which is not a bad thing. I mean, I like to shoot the ball too, but
So you feel Melo is wearing about his brand?
Yeah, he's no longer a ball player. He's just an ambassador of the sports now.
Right. I mean, that was one of the reasons of New York. New York and L.A., you chase that brand, you know.
I mean, look at Durant. Durant ran off to Golden State.
Team. Yeah, definitely.
It's so he doesn't have to do work. It's so that he can just go ahead and shoot the ball and call it a day. Because if you don't play defense, who cares?
I mean, I think that he took the LeBron James format. I mean, he's the one that sent the tweet and criticized LeBron for going to Miami. Like, everybody's trying to jump on the LeBron wagon, and he goes over there, he go gets his rings, and then he comes back, and now he's doing it.
Well, it's a hard criticism because you think of it in your own personal life.
Correct.
If a job would call you tomorrow and says, I have the best radio station with the best people on it, would you want to be on it? Of course you do.
Of course, yeah,
I'm going to pay you a lot of money to be on it too.
Yeah.
But when we look at sports players, we look at them as gladiators.
Definitely.
So we expect them to carry their team, which we think is like a country. I mean, we support our teams, the NFL, NBA, whatever. We support them like it's our country.
Definitely true.
So we expect that one player to hold our country up on their shoulders and go fight for us.
Right.
And when you watch that player go to a stacked team, you kind of lose a little respect for them.
Yes, yeah, true indeed. Yeah, definitely.
But talking about Golden State, I mean, they had an amazing run last year. You know, even though they didn't win the finals or anything, what do you consider, or what are some of the best teams ever that you would think of?
Oh, wow. I mean, as soon as the best teams come to mind, of course, the first thing you're going to think about is the Chicago Bulls, the Boston Celtics, the Lakers. Like, as much as I'm not a Jordan guy. My favorite guy is Julius Erving. Named after him. My father named after him. Met him, named after him, and I learned to love him. But Jordan, that format that was in Chicago makes you love that team. And I think that's what holds on to it. I don't really, I'm not a big fan of the Jordan brand, but him, the way that he finessed it, the way that he... One thing that I don't see now what people do is he had people come together over his house. Let's hang out. Let's do this. I don't see that camaraderie. You know what I mean? No more.
I think Jordan as a whole has that fire in him that he's going to make everybody better.
Correct.
And there's a lot of stories you get from NBA players that's played with him as how competitive he is just in practice.
Definitely. Right.
So you don't see that nowadays anymore. Players are just kind of, we're all friends, we're all okay. That competitive hasn't really hit anymore.
Right. Now, who do you feel? What's your team?
See, growing up, I didn't have an NBA team. I liked Michael.
Yes.
And then after Michael, I like Ray Allen. I was a big Ray Allen fan. I loved him shooting. I loved everything about it.
Yes.
I like Sean Kemp. I like that team. That team was great. But I just image a lot of my playing style off of different players. I never really had a team. But when I think of great players or great teams, I think of two teams. And the one thing I always think about is the Yankees. Yankees franchise as a whole was just phenomenal. But the 1927 Yankees average 6 home runs every game.
Ooh.
Winning 110 games and 44 losses. I mean, they were beating up on teams like it was no tomorrow.
Right.
Some other things I think about is the 72 Dolphins. Only team in the NFL to go undefeated, and we don't give them much love. I mean, how often do you talk about them? We talk about the 85 Bears, we talk about everybody else, but we never talk about the 72 Dolphins.
Well, that's only because the reason why they don't get the most talk is because they don't have the rings to show it. And the craziest thing, and that's where I say the popularity comes in. It's like if you don't have a ring, you don't get the respect. But it doesn't make any sense because the Dolphins was a great team.
Well, I think a lot of it also comes to the fact that they didn't have any famous players besides Montana.
Right.
Not Montana. Marino, sorry. Beside Marino, I mean, they didn't really have any stars.
Right.
So
I mean, but wouldn't that make the team elite that you take average guys that you sleep on? You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree. No, I definitely think that makes them even more elite.
Definitely.
But just because they were never in the paper or on TV like that, I mean, look at the 85 Bears, that a whole song and a dance, and that just brings in your head.
Yeah.
Dolphins never did it. They were humble about it. They won, they went home, and we never heard from them again.
True. That's true. Yeah.
But I think sometimes being an American, we forget about other countries. We think about other sports.
Right.
So soccer's, starting to become big. You start seeing it in the morning. You start seeing them, MLS being on there. Yeah. So one of the great teams I think of is 2 years ago's Barcelona.
Okay.
Won 5 titles in their one season. Won 30 games and lost 4 games in their own domestic league.
Wow.
So the difference between other sports and soccer is that you play in other competitions while you play in your regular season. So they played in 5 other competitions and won 5 championships, and then won their own championship in their own league.
Wow. No, I actually, because I actually really don't pay attention to soccer. Only thing I just found out was that soccer also don't have a salary cap. Baseball's not the only sport.
No. Yeah. Soccer has absolutely no salary cap.
Yeah, so you got guys getting paid top dollar as well.
Oh, yeah. You look at teams like Real Madrid. All three of their scoring players make $150 million a year.
Yeah, see, my son's going to be training for soccer now, There's nothing wrong with sending him overseas,
No, not at all.
Baseball and soccer, football and basketball can come later.
Hey, you remember, you're part of mom, so when he buys mom's a house, you get a house too, you
exactly,
know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, I told the wife I would never get a soccer mom van. I might get it now, right? Definitely. So as we spoke about, what is the best team ever? What is your comparison? Excuse me, to this year Olympics to previous year?
I don't think they have the heart of any other years. You look at it, a lot of games are kind of close.
Yes,
they played.
It was questioning the defense last night.
Yeah, I mean they're just they're not aggressive enough. They don't want to shut players down. You look at a lot of previous Olympics teams, they walked in with a chip in the shoulder.
Definitely.
They walked in, they wanted to kill teams. They wanted to just run the score up on them and then do whatever they want to do. And it could be a part because they don't have those players anymore. I will give the benefit of LeBron James. When he played in the Olympics, he definitely wore his heart on his sleeve, and he wanted to put an impact on teams. They don't have that player this year. They don't have a Chris Paul. They don't have anybody that just hates to lose. And they have a lot of guys that are okay with just getting by.
I mean, you see, they were so shocked that Carmelo was the one that shot the last shot, and if the guy would have made the shot, they would have lost. And he wound up missing it, which made it look good. Yeah,
their interior defense. I mean, Jordan just not really playing any real defense. DeMarco Cousins looking pretty weak compared when he plays in the NBA.
Right.
I don't know how you don't walk into the Olympics with a cocky head and feeling confident about yourself because you're the best players in the world, but yet you're playing these other players and you're just kind of playing like they're average.
I think it's kind of like the thing when LeBron was when he was competing for the ring. I mean, they need somebody to talk trash about them first before they really put their heart into it, because they're just going overseas, so they're like, hey, it really don't mean nothing,
Well, I think that's the reason why I dislike why the NBA Olympics always calls their NBA team the dream team. They just keep adding numbers to them.
Yes.
Because you're not a dream team.
Right.
There was already one dream team. The 92 dream team was the dream team. Because I'll take that 92 dream team over any other Olympic team that ever entered.
Sure.
But when the closest game for the 92 Olympic team was by 38 points, and last night you had won by 3, you better get yourself together.
You got to get it right. You got to
get yourself together.
Yeah. So speaking on the Olympics with the NBA, how do you feel about the draft lottery? Do you think that this thing, it should be like the NFL? Do you think like it's not giving an equal opportunity to these NBA teams?
Well, at first, I don't think it's popular anymore. I mean, you think about it, it used to be something you wanted to watch on TV.
Right.
Now, I think I watch the first 3 picks and I turn it off, and I'll let ESPN tell me tomorrow what the rest of the picks are.
That's a fact.
But if you look at the NFL, I mean, just the way they have the presence of the situation, people stay tuned in 3-4 days later. You're watching the 7th, 11th round pick on ESPN, and you're tuned in.
Yeah.
So,
true.
I mean, I think maybe the marketing of that situation needs to change, but yeah, I think the lottery thing just needs to kind of go.
Yeah. And I hope they voted out, because it seems like they're still comfortable with it, because these teams that really need them, they want to be in the first ones that usually get the pick. But I think if you take that out, you will have more competitive teams instead of your normal Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics, and stuff like that, because they seem like they are always the ones that everybody wants to go to.
Well, I will say about the difference between them and the NFL, the one thing I don't like about the NFL is how they're selling the draft picks.
Right.
You turn around and you have a really great season one year and you sell your draft picks. Next year you have a crappy season. Turn around and you have the Patriots getting 5 first-round picks for nowhere because they're buying them off everybody. I definitely think that they need to do that with the first round, is you absolutely can't sell them. You get a first round pick and that's it. You can sell the second round, and we can make it a little bit more competitive that way, because you look at teams, they're picking up 4 or 5 number 1 first round picks in the first round.
That's smart,
and not doing anything with them.
That was one of the reasons why we moved all the way up. We moved up because we had some picks and we negotiated some business and stuff like that.
Well, you can move up. I would think you could be able to move up within your round. Right. So if you're the first round pick and you're 32nd, if you would pay some additional money and whatever to get a first round pick, that's great.
Right.
But you don't get another first round pick. pick. It leaves you in that aspect. I think it leaves the playing field a little bit more fair because you look at a lot of these big teams, they're getting a decent amount of first-round draft picks, and they're winning the Super Bowl.
Definitely.
It's an easy rebuild year for them until financial issues happen with them, and then they drop back down.
Now, do you think it's more the playing field is more better now? Because before you would have these certain teams that everybody go to, but you have teams like the Jaguars is looking good. You got Oakland that's looking good. That they very, very competitive.
I think the NFL definitely. NFL is pretty much spread out. I think talent's everywhere. You can really not count a team out. Even though sometimes we look at a team, we watch Jacksonville, and we're kind of like, they're not going to win anything.
Right.
But like last year, it proved to them that you can't count them out. They're pretty good.
Definitely.
NBA, not at all. I think NBA is nothing but stacked.
Yes.
You look at the Eastern Conference,
Yes.
who do you really fear? Nobody. You look at the Western Conference, you pick out 4 teams. That's pretty much all you're watching all year long.
Really compete,
and you're not worried about it anymore. The lottery hasn't helped them. The free agency hasn't helped them spread that talent out so that you can be excited to watch Milwaukee play. I mean, what happened to that? You used to be excited to watch any team play because everybody had a good player.
Right.
It may not have been as elite as another player, but they were good that you could go behind. But there's teams out there that I don't even know if they have an elite player. I don't even know if they sell jerseys. I mean,
look at it. You even got Jordan that owns a team and he still can't get the players that he wants. So
I don't think Jordan's fully involved in that team. I think he just likes collecting the money. Like, I think he likes being the face of it. Because you think, really, if Jordan was that competitive as being a ball player, you could only be that competitive as being an owner. But I think he's just kind of laid back right now. He's just kind of liking the situation, kind of at the beach with his team.
Because he's still a part of what he loves to do.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to show him the office and gets a paycheck. He gets to shoot around in the gym, and nobody's pressuring him to put out a great team.
Yeah, I thought by him, getting more stock into this team, owning more, that he would talk to some of the players that's under his brand and saying, hey, how do you feel about getting this guaranteed money over here and building something off of your name?
Or maybe even finding a player that kind of plays like him, that kind of emulates that passion that he had, and bringing him and kind of, coaching him up to be a better player.
Do you see that? I mean, do you see somebody with that hunger and that drive anymore? I don't honestly say I can see that in today's NBA.
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the only person I know that goes 0 to 100 from the beginning of the whistle to the end of the whistle. I mean, he's the only person that's willing to take on a 7-footer and try to bang on him on a regular basis. He's diving on the floor. He's full steam ahead. Outside of Russell Wilson, no, not at all.
So you would call Russell Wilson the Pacquiao of the NBA?
Yeah, no, I definitely can say that. No, he definitely is a linebacker mentality where he's going all in. He's all for it.
Right.
And I like that about it because the NBA sometimes get a rap for being soft.
Yes.
Because you get paid all this money, you kind of lay back out. I mean, that's the reason why the NBA doesn't have any more big men. I mean, look at the latest big men we have in there and how soft they are. Now they shooting threes. I mean, nobody wants to bang in the middle no more.
Yeah, and now you got them looking overseas to try to get their big men because they're thinking they can get that toughness from somewhere else.
Well, if overseas hasn't shown you anything, they're weak. They're even softer. You watch them, overseas or international basketball. There is no banging in the middle either.
Yeah, it's just
and I think that's what brought in shooting threes and big men with it, be able to be on the perimeter because like Dirk came in. Dirk was a center-ish type body built, but he don't go down. He don't bang up with anybody. He shoots, and there's nothing wrong with that for that aspect. But we lost like what I consider Big East basketball. Big East college basketball was you big men banging bodies, knocking everybody down. I mean, I remember watching the Bulls and Knicks play, and you never know who's gonna fight. Because the number one rule was you don't let anybody get to the hoop for free, and they knocking everybody out there.
You're in that pin, you're getting elbows and everything.
Ewing and Jordan knocking the crap out of each other. But I mean, that's what it was. Now it's not that. You get past everybody lets you up because you make $1 million a year. We don't want to hurt your career. We don't want to hurt your money.
Definitely.
Nobody should do it intentionally, but I mean, you got to be aggressive. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, with that being said, we're going to get into we're going to switch back over to the NFL. We're going to take a quick break. Being as though, Greg said, he said the Biggie era, we're going to get into a little Biggie song and we're going to play a little something. Let's take it back. Rest in peace to Big Notorious Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
This is the Culdesac, Hottest Live Radio.
Yeah.
In and out.
This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from, that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. And all the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Marley Marl. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Slipping on private stock way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know.
You know very well who you are. Don't let 'em hold you down. Reach for the stars. You have to move when that's underneath. 'Cause you're the only one.
I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep me pissy. Girls used to diss me, now they write letters cause they miss me. I never thought it could happen, this rapping stuff. I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast. Condos in Queens, and for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak. Living life without fear, putting 5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good, And if you don't know, now you know.
You know very well who you are. Don't let 'em hold you down. Reach for the stars. You have to move when that's underneath. 'Cause you're the only one. I'll give you good and
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with the chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day, no more public housing. Thinking back on my one-room shack. Now my mom pimps a act with minks on her back. And she loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time my face is up in the sauce. We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat, wonder why Christmas missed us. Birthdays was the worst days. Now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Damn right I like the life I live. Cause I went from negative to positive and it's all. And if you don't know, now you know.
You know very well who you are. Don't let 'em hold you down.
And if you don't know, now you know. And if you don't know, now you know. Representing B-Town in the house. Junior Mafia, Math Label. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, yeah. You know very well. You know who you are. So don't let 'em hold you down. Reach for the stars. You had to go. 'Cause you're the only one. I'll give you good and goodness.
You're listening to the hottest live radio representing Dover, Delaware, Tri-State, Delmarva, and the Eastern Shore.
Yeah. We good. Matter of fact, we great. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, top 5.
In the words of Jadakiss. Yeah, we're about to get into the top 5. I got a serious question for Greg. You know, we love the debate, so I want to see how he feels about the top 5 players of the NFL. Benzo, preseason is here. This is one of the biggest sports right now that makes everybody tune in. Greg, what are you feeling? Who's your top 5 that you're looking at right now that's going to make a mark into this season?
Man, I thought long and hard about this because there's a lot of great players in the NFL right now.
Okay.
But one of the players I'm definitely coming back from injury is Calvin Benjamin.
Okay.
I want to see if he's able to give some better offense with Carolina. They really didn't have much last year.
Right.
Amari Cooper is definitely another one I want to see how he
Ooh,
plays.
I like Amari Cooper, yeah.
Definitely looking to see how Randall Cobb plays this year. Jordy Nelson's back. We only got a little something going on with that.
Yeah.
Eli Manning, I'm definitely seeing he has a nice wide receiver staff behind him, and I'm interested to see what's going on there.
Well, I mean, Eli has a chip on his shoulder right now, I feel, because he's got to compete with his brother. You know, we saw the face. He can say whatever he wants. We saw that lost face when his brother won that championship. So I think he wants to clean that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Last one is Antonio Brown, my boy from Pittsburgh, holding it down for us. I want to know if he can do it again this year. I mean, the boy's a freaking nature. He does everything. You give him the ball and he just makes yards come up. But I want to see him produce again. That's what I want to see. I can't wait to see it.
I don't take that from him. I think out of everybody you just mentioned, I see him as being he's the number one out of the top 5. The best one that probably will prove. Because now, you know, AFC is wide open.
Yeah.
And you know, we saw a lot of injuries with the Steelers and so forth. I think that this is the opportunity. I thought it was last year, but I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on.
I think last year with Ben being hurt,
yes,
kind of hurt his stats a little bit, kind of hurt his production a little bit.
Right.
But with Matavius Bryant being out because of suspension, with Bell being out with the suspension,
yes,
the show is his.
Right,
the show is his to perform, and I'm pretty sure he will. I'm pretty sure he's just going to light it all up. But he's what I'm excited for because his work ethic is just there.
Right, definitely. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's what I wanted to hear. I mean, he definitely gave some good guys. I mean, you know, talking about Eli is average to me. I think Eli's just playing just to play. He's going to get a check, you know, to close out the season and so forth.
Unfortunately, Eli's more elite than the quarterback you have right now. So you got to do what you got to do, right?
Hey man, we're not talking about my team right now. Listen. You know, the Angry Birds is going to get by defense. Defense and running the ball.
Okay.
We, you know, and screen plays, we're going to get by that. We know Waterboy is not going to get us there. You know, I mean, all respect due to Sam Bradford, but to me, the way you standing there, you look like a guy that's on Waterboy, but I'm going to call you the Waterboy because you're always playing catch-up.
I mean, even if you guys had an elite quarterback, who you guys throwing the ball to, that's y'all biggest issue. You don't have anybody to really throw to. That's why I put Eli on that map. He has 2 good wide receivers, Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham, but they picked up another young rookie that's really good too.
But I think we got a lot of receivers that don't nobody know about. So even like you said earlier with the Dolphins, the nobody teams is always those sleepers. And competing in our division, we don't really got a lot of competition here, you know. So if our defense is playing good, we slow that ball down. I mean, when our defense has always been playing good, we pick up on interceptions and fumbles. And as long as we can score on those are games of completion. So I still feel as though we can win the division. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but I do feel as though that we can still control our division because everybody is all over the playing field right now.
I give you that. Your division is winnable.
Yes,
definitely so.
Yeah, and I feel that, you know. So, you know, who will we be, competing with? New York. Yes, we will be competing with New York Giants. So, you know, speaking on that, I mean, that was a great thing to touch on, and I felt good about that. So we definitely going to touch back on this to see with these guys. We're going to notate them, and we're going to bring them back by, like, you know, week 3, week 4.
Do you have anybody that you're looking after?
I'm actually watching now because everything's all over the place. Because I wanted to say Cam Newton. Was one of my guys that I was really looking at. But I think the Super Bowl put a lot on him. And now you got to prove yourself all over again. So it's not like, you know, the NBA where you can play and you can go back to compete. Mm-hmm. I really like Aaron Rodgers. I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, and I think that he has the receiving cores that he wants. You know, so this year I'm actually really sit back and watching, and then come week 1, I'll be having the guys that I'm really feeling like, you know, okay, they showing that they're really coming out to play. You know, right now I'm giving a lot of respect to defense, but offense, I want to see how the team start off.
So are you going to tell me that maybe like defense wins championships more than offense wins championships?
Definitely. I mean, we're seeing it. Let's look at last year with the Super Bowl, you know. Peyton Manning, if he had the Colts defense, it definitely wouldn't have got him there, you know. So we know that he was struggling to win those games. Those defense really closed out on him to get them to where they need to be. I mean, how do you feel?
I'm a Pittsburgh fan, so defense always wins everything for me. You know, we as Pittsburgh fans, we can be okay with a 7-0 game and move on our way.
Right.
But I think as the years go on, you look at the progression of the NFL. Offense is just winning it for everything. Unfortunately, you if you can't sling the ball around, then you can't win anything. It doesn't really matter how they look at it.
We see as a collective team, the Cardinals look like a team that will go back every single year if they stay concrete like they are right now, so that is one team that I can say has a complete offense. The Patriots, as much as we can talk about the Patriots, they don't play by skill, they play by smarts. It's all about intelligence over there.
Well, I will bring that up. You brought up Patriots and you're going to bring up Peyton Manning. There are two offensive weapons that play defense.
Yes,
and that's why I said maybe the swing has come around, that if I can hold the ball and just get first down slowly as an offense, I'm technically playing defense because I'm not allowing their offense on the field.
Smart. Yeah. Kind of like when we had miniature Chip on our team, and we were so fast, and you had teams that came in like the Chargers and so forth that was slowing us down and keeping their stuff on the field way longer than us, and we couldn't compete because we're turning balls over so quickly. Yeah. So I understand.
I mean, you got even a person like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, realistically, he showed last year 2 Hail Marys to win a game. Do you really want him to have the ball at the end of the game?
No,
so let's go ahead and run this ball and keep getting these first downs, and hopefully he never sees the field again at the end of the game.
But I think it might be different now. You got this Jordy Nelson guy, man. I remember with Jordy Nelson when he played your Steelers in the Super Bowl. And this guy, he was dropping balls in the first half in third and fourth quarter. Oh my gosh, he thought this guy had glue on his hands.
I feel like Jordy Nelson's a ghost because I feel like every defender forgets he's on the field. Like the next thing you know, he's like streaking down the side. I'm like, Jordy Nelson hasn't moved, didn't put a swim move on anybody, but he's free down the field. And you can't give anything to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has a ball you can put on a string on a regular. It is too nice.
I mean, I compare, and I don't want the critics to say nothing to me, but Jordy Nelson is so much a calm guy. As far as breaking to get free, I will compare Jordy Nelson to a T.O. And a Chad Johnson, because for some reason this guy is always free. Like you look down the field and it's like, oh, okay, it's just Jordy Nelson. Then you're like, oh snap, he's like 20 yards down.
I mean, I think his appearance also was kind of deceiving. I mean, he's a little shorter, not very stocky, white guy. Kind of could easily blend into a team if he really wasn't. His name was Jordan Nelson. Hadn't done great things. And I think a lot of times some players underestimate his speed, and so they kind of give him some cushion, like I can catch up to him. And then Aaron Rodgers was on out there, and you realize Jordy Nelson's a lot faster than you expected him to be.
Oh well, speaking on that, let's jump right into. We're not going to go to a break or nothing. We're going to jump to a banger bust to see who you feel it might just be a super bust, and we're going to see who you feel might be a bang. Let's get and turn that on and jump into that.
I'll tell you right now, it's hard for me to say this because I'm an Ohio State fan, but I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to be a bust.
Put it down. Okay. But it gotta bang. It has to bang.
Dover, Delaware, Tri-State,
You know?
Delmarva, and the Eastern Shore.
Bang. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Let me see you do the bus a bus. I know just really what you want. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Baby, come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Let me see you do the bus a bus. I know just really what you want. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Let me see you do the bus a bus. I know just really what you want. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Come and do the bus a bus. Alright. Let me see you do the bus a bus. Alright.
So Greg, you said Ezekiel Elliott. That's one first name that you threw out there. So the Cowboys fans is going to be against that, because we wanted him, but they wanted to go with Wentz. But again, how do you feel about that?
I think because of the team that he's going to be playing for, the high expectations for him to come out the gate and be the best running back in the league is just there for them. And it's hard for a rookie running back to do that. And especially not having anybody behind you to coach you to be that good.
Definitely.
So I think, there are going to be a lot of expectations for him to be great, and he's just not going to do it to this year.
Especially for them to still compare him to Murray. Murray's been going for a season, and you're still trying to pair this guy to Murray when Murray came to us and he didn't prove himself. I don't care. Oh, he wouldn't give me the ball, and I couldn't run here. I'm not trying to hear that. As a running back, if you run up, you run side, you make it happen. That's one thing my boy Shady did.
I mean, look at you. They're Cowboys fans. They live in the past. I mean, if you can't beat Troy Aikman, then you ain't nobody. You know, in that aspect.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but I mean, they're trying to find themselves an elite running back. Ezekiel Elliott can be in the future. I just think because there's nobody with him to, like a veteran, to help him become good, and the expectation on him to instantly have to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year. Right. I think it's just the expectation is going to drop.
I think, you know, for being an Eagles fan, of course I'm gonna say Ezekiel Elliott's a bust. I think he might come in that one guy that did great in the college and come in and he plays average and just wants that check. Once he be defeated mentally, he's going to be targeting for that check. Who else do you feel is going to be a bust? Let's give 2 more.
Well, I don't have another bust, but I have another bang in the situation.
Okay, let's go on the bang. Yeah,
Corey Coleman. He plays for the Browns. Came out of Baylor. Great wide receiver. Great hands. Browns right now don't have a wide receiver staff set.
Right.
There's too many things going in the mix, and until Josh Gordon comes back, they're going to be looking for somebody to do something. And as a young wide receiver, hungry to play, I think he's going to get the ball and turn up. He has great speed. He's willing to come across that middle. He's a good wide receiver. So I think he's somebody that's slowly going to creep up in there, and you're going to start hearing his name a lot more later on in the season.
Now, do you think that he will be the guy that make them forget about Josh Gordon?
I don't know if you can forget about Josh Gordon. I mean, think about it. 2 years ago,
you keep getting kicked out of the league for what you're doing now. I mean,
yeah, but you think about it. 2 years ago, he came back in the league for half a season to start sending wide receiver records. Josh Gordon's amazing. Only way they can get over Josh Gordon is if Josh Gordon leaves. Or he never allowed back into the league. Right. But in the meantime, until Josh Gordon comes back in, I think Corey Coleman is going to be the person that they're going to have to go to.
Right. Well, one of the persons I feel, you know, is going to be a bang is, I'm going to talk about my Eagles. You know, we talk about everybody, but Fletcher Cox. I think Fletcher Cox is going to have another great season. I mean, the preseason alone, he, you know, first came in and stripped the ball, you know, for a fumble. That's what he does. This is what I miss with Eagles defense, you know. So I think Fletcher Cox, my guy, he's going to come in and he's going to really bang again this season.
I think he's going to do great. I think you guys have been missing something on the defense. Every time you've reached out for somebody for the defense, some reason something happened. He's got hurt. He just didn't perform, or whatever the situation is. I think Fletcher Cox is definitely going to step up and take in business.
I feel that. I mean, anybody else? You have anybody else for the bang?
Those are not really, not right now. It's still pretty early. Still trying to get preseason in. Right. Trying to see how they fit. A lot of the rookies just getting a little bit of touches here and there.
Well, let me give you real quick one bust. I think that Andrew Luck is going to be a bust. I think even with the contract, and understand what, you know, he went through the injury and stuff like that. I think Andrew Luck is so much of a simple guy that it's just going to show. I think it's just going to show this season. I mean, you have a team like the Texans that might have a chance this year. Texans look a little bit better. You know, we don't know what they're going to get on the quarterback situation, but I think when you look at the Texans, if me putting my bet on the Texans against the Colts, of course I'm gonna go with the Texans. You know, I don't know if I want to rely on Luck.
See, I think Brock Osweiler is gonna be a bust too. I think the contract's so big. I think the move was too big. Right. I think he wasn't ready. I think he played okay last year and played in some big events, but you didn't really have to carry the team. You knew that if you messed up, you just going back to the bench. It didn't really matter that situation. Now, if he messes up, he cut.
That's true. Because that's right. As soon as he started messing up, Manning got it.
Yep. You now are the franchise face of the quarterback of your team. You now are the leader. You now have to produce. Okay. And like I said, when he played for Denver, if he just messed up, they already knew that he was just going back to the bench to learn. But you may not have a job the next week. You know, you never know how that situation is. Andrew Luck definitely is going to be a bust because the Colts don't put him in a great situation. Right. They're always putting him in long drive situations. They're always putting him with his back against the wall trying to be a Superman, and that wears on a player. I mean, you get hit as much as he does, you have to perform as much as he does, you eventually body gets tired, and it's just not going to work out very well. Yeah,
definitely. So all right, let's give a bang or bust 1-1. What team for this season do you think will bang or bust?
I'm going to go Jacksonville's going to bang.
I love Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville's going to bang. I think the pickups they picked up on free agency, I think the pickups they picked up in the draft are really, really good.
Yeah, I don't think the money was just thrown around.
I think the players they had last year that they kept were great in that aspect. So I see them being a contender in their division.
Yeah, my bet goes to Jacksonville. I mean, You know, I see this. They was barely losing games last season. I mean, even in sports bet, you know, we're still making money off these guys, you know. So that for them to barely lose games, they got a year to count that over again, because they still slept on.
Right.
They're not still like looking at like, yo, Jacksonville's that guy. No, they're like, okay, they're just average.
Right.
I see them outplaying a lot of different teams this year.
Yeah, they're young, they're hungry.
Yes.
I mean, they just really clicking as a whole as a team.
Right.
And if they play the way they played last year,
Right.
it's going to be really hard to stop them. Even more so with the pickups they picked up. They picked up a really good defense. They picked up some really good running backs. They just really completed their team.
Yeah, they took advantage of the draft too. They definitely did.
They definitely did.
Yeah. And what about a bus team?
Every California football team. I'm gonna put it out there. San Diego's a bust. I'm gonna tell you, LA's
Yes.
gonna be a bust.
Yes.
San Fran's gonna be a
He said
bust. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. I like Oakland. I like Amari. I like the thing they have going on there. But they didn't make enough pickups to actually make a deep impact into it. So they might have a winning season,
Right.
but not to run off the playoffs. Not to run the playoffs. So I'm sorry, California. It's just another year of waiting for Lakers to come back or something.
Well, you know, I guess it's gonna rain all through California. Forget that song. It doesn't rain in Southern California, because I was just gonna say the Chargers, but it kind of makes sense to what he said. I think he hit that right on the nail. And we're gonna see. We want to see once we get in tune to that, you know. And we want to thank everybody for listening in. You know, the show just came to a sadly end, you know, but we want to thank everybody for tuning into the Culdesac. We're going to give a lot more information. We're going to have guests on here. We're going to have call-ins, you know. Mr. Greg Nice, you know, he's nice with the talk. That's why we got him on the show, you know. My guy, you know, how do you feel?
Oh, I love the show. I love it. It felt great. It felt great. We can always talk about sports.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what brings the community together. We
Yes,
love talking about sports.
Yeah. We taking it. We're bringing the corner, the barbershop, and everything to the radio. You know, y'all
Yes, sir.
tuned in to Hottest Live, the Culdesac Show. Greg Nice, Jay Irvin, in and out.